We go. Yes, everyone, welcome to ESC Institute. And today we have all the way from Africa, Dr. Ambassador Mehreen Mia, ma'am. And she is absolutely amazingly fluent with her communication. And now today we are absolutely gonna learn interview skills. And my shining stars are looking forward to it. And I believe that yeah, they are going to concentrate enough and they are going to gain a lot because Mehreen, ma'am, I'm telling you, you are again one of the best global educator in the fluency because like we have all the best whoever have selected, but for this interview purpose I was actually looking forward to you first. So over to you, Marian ma'am. The next 30 minutes are all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Dr. Madhvi. Lovely to be here. And I greet everyone in that universal greeting of peace with blessings. Thank you so much for being here and for having me as well. And for all those lovely words. Oh, my word, Dr. Madhvi, I love you too. Okay. When we're talking about an interview, I think as soon as you get the call and you say, come for the interview, automatically, what's the first thing that happens? We get nervous. We start to get nervous, and then we're like, oh my word, what am I going to say? What am I going to wear? What am I going to do? What are they going to ask me? And all of these things start racing in your mind, right? Because it's about you. And now you don't know, because you don't know who you're going to be facing. But here's the question. Don't you know you? Do you not know yourself?
We know ourselves
Yes.
perfectly.
So if I know me well enough, then I should have enough confidence in me that no matter who I am going to see, I am going to be me. I'm going to answer them as best I can. I'm selected to even come for this interview because I am the best at what I do. So I need to already, before I even go to the interview, the first thing I have to do is make sure my mind is positive. My feelings are positive. It is natural. It is okay to feel nervous. You have to feel nervous, okay? But it mustn't be the kind of nervous that takes over you. It must be the kind of nervous that is excited. It must be the kind of nervous that you are, going onto this new adventure. It must be the kind of nervous where you look forward to something, yet you don't know what it is. It's like almost when you kind of have a surprise party coming, but nobody's telling you and you're going to go and pitch up anyway. So it's one of those things. You have to be happy about it. So the first step towards your interview is not the actual interview. The first step towards your interview is to mentally tell yourself and be positive about you going for the interview. Because even if you prepare all your questions and answers, even if I tell you how to do everything regarding the structure and the environment of your interview, if you are not mentally feeling that you are positive about this interview, then nothing I say is going to make the interview good. So it starts with how you approach the interview, it starts with how you think about the interview, and it starts with how you start to manifest about this interview. So once you start to say to yourself, wow, I'm selected for this interview, which means they see something good in me. I need to, be active. I need to learn more about myself. I need to push myself. I need to think. Then you start to go into the preparation mode. But you start your preparation mode for the interview with this positive mindset. You start with this positive feeling. And when you start on that note, you automatically are a quarter way in the door. Okay, so it starts with you. So it starts there. That's your number one with the interview. You first start with preparing your mind and becoming more positive about how you're going to approach the interview or the people or the panel that you're going to see. All right, so that's the first thing. Now, preparing you is number one. Preparing for the interview is number two. How would you prepare for the interview? What would you think is necessary? Anyone take a guess? What is the first thing you would prepare if you have to prepare about the interview? What's the first thing?
About yourself.
Introduction about ourselves.
So you remember there's two parts to your preparation, right? The first part of preparation is to prepare you, your mind, yourself, how you feel. That's your first part of preparation. The second part of how to prepare for your interview is that you are preparing about the company. So the number two part of your preparation is about how am I going to research this company? If this company has come to me and said, I am going to go there for an interview, I have to know more about the company first. Let me do some research and prepare about the company. What role am I going to be interviewed for in that company? And if there is a certain company I'm going to, then what is that company's vision? Where does that company want to go? Am I actually somebody who wants to align myself with the vision of that company? So when you start to do your second put of preparation, your preparation there is about the company, the role the company plays, the review of yourself in that company. So we're going to ask certain questions about the company to yourself. Go on Google and find out, where does the company, how many branches does the company have? What kind of people work in the company? How many people have they lost in the past couple of years? Do I want to give myself into this company? So, you also need to look after yourself, because it's a good thing that the company is calling you, but you also don't want to go to a company that has got a history of keep changing their people. Okay, because when you want to go to a job that's going to keep you stable, you want to grow in the company. Is there room to grow in this company? How many directors are in the company? Who's going to be seeing you? What kind of package are they going to offer you for your salary? These are things you're going to prepare about the company. So the first part of preparation is you mentally. The second part of preparation is about the company itself. What the company is about, who you're going to see, research the person. If you know who the HR manager is, who is that human resource person, find out about them. Find out about which department you're going to go into. Find out what that department needs so you know what answers to give in your interview. Do the research about the company. That's the second part of your preparation, right? So the number one point is preparation, but that is involving 2 points. Prepare myself, prepare regarding the company. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is about how you structure the interview. If you are going for the interview, you have to plan your questions in advance. Okay, plan, for example, what do you think they're going to ask of you? If you are going into a specific role, you know the role that you applied for. You know if you want to go into a school, you're going to teach, which phase of teaching you're going to go to. If you're going into IT in a department, you need to know which part of IT you are going into. But you need to know what role is it that you are going to play. And if you are going to go into a role, then you should be able to know what kind of questions they're going to ask you for that role. And if you are somebody who's going to interview someone, then you must know what kind of job that is, because you have to have an agenda. So both ways require some structure in terms of how you would proceed with the interview. So ask yourself questions like, I am going in now for this interview as a secretary. What exactly does a secretary do? The secretary has to make sure everything is in order. I have to make sure there's a diary. I have to make sure I greet people properly. I have to have good mannerisms when I answer the phone. All of these things are for the secretary role. So if those are the roles that are applied and the duties for the secretary, then surely they're going to ask me questions about that role. Then you try and think to yourself, what would they ask me? If they're going to ask me, they probably give me a test and say how I answer. Am I going to be fluent when I speak a name? So, for example, if you are applying for the reception job, for example, where you're answering the phone all the time, right? Let's just say that is the job you applied for and you get in the interview. The first thing you have to know is how to pronounce the name of the company properly. Because when you're going to answer the phone, you're going to answer and say, this is the company. So these are small things, but they become the big things as part of the interview. So you structure your interview in your planning to see what exactly are the questions and how will I choose to answer. Now, when you have to do any interview, it's always done in a very quiet space, correct? If you've been to any interview already, you will go into an interview and it's always done either in a boardroom or somewhere where it's just you and that person. Sometimes that can become nervous, make you more nervous because there's nobody else around. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, but sometimes it's actually a bonus because it's just you in that place. So prepare yourself for the kind of environment you're going into and make yourself feel comfortable as soon as you get there. And the reason you do that is because when you are comfortable, then you can be your true self in the interview. When you are not comfortable, you're going to start to think and then you're going to overthink and you stumble on your answers. You'd rather be comfortable where you're at. So look at the environment that you are sitting in when you are in that office or in the interview. And then look to see, who are you looking at? Who's the people in front of you? Are you being interviewed by one person or more than one? And if it's just one person, Make sure there's eye-to-eye contact all the time. Okay, because that person must know that you are with them all the time. If it is a panel of people, let's just say you're in an interview and there are 4 people there that are interviewing you. Whoever you are talking to, that is the person that you must have eye contact with. Okay, if it is me and then Dr. Madhvi is sitting next to me, but Dr. Madhvi is talking to you, don't look at me when you are answering her. You have to be able to look at her when you talk to her. And then you must shift when you look at me when I talk to you. And if we both have to talk to each other, you can decide who you want to look at. But you control who you are speaking to with your eyes. That's also the important part, the eye contact that you maintain. Because if I am interviewing you, I look to see whether you are comfortable when you are looking at me. And if you look straight at me and you speak to me fluently, it means for me that you are very much in control of yourself right now. You're not stumbling. You're actually very, you're confident in yourself. It speaks to me. And why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because this is where the body language comes in. Body language is very key. Lots of people who are, we interview people, and I do it very often. We look to see what the body language of the person is. When I speak about that, let me give you an example. Some people walk into the interview room and they're very upright. Okay, they're very upright and they got everything in check. They got a little file in their hand. They sit down and they still sit upright in front of us, and and then we start talking. But as we start talking, that whole sitting upright becomes, they start to get sluggish. They start to look tired in front of us. And what does that tell me if I'm interviewing you? It tells me that you're not somebody who's consistent. It's also telling me something about you and your demeanor. It tells me that who walked through the door and who's sitting in front of me are almost like 2 different people. The person that walked in is trying to tell me they're upright and they know everything, and the person sitting in front of me is so exhausted so quickly. So you have to be careful what your body language says. What your body language is speaking must be exactly how you will be speaking. You must speak with confidence, and you must show your body in confidence. Sitting upright, making sure you're looking straight at them when they're talking to you, speaking with confidence. If you don't know an answer, say, I actually am not very sure about that. I'd like to look into it and come back to you if that's okay. It's okay to rather be confident in what you know than to try and stumble on something that you don't. I actually appreciate it when somebody is sitting in front of me and says, I'm not too clear on what you asked me. I really don't understand what you're asking me because it's something that's very new to me. I appreciate that from somebody rather than somebody sit there and try to lie. Okay? So when it comes to your interview, and we're talking about body language, we're talking about communication, how to be clear, how to be concise. We're talking about you being in that space and owning it. What do you think is the biggest problem that you would have? Anyone? What do you think is a problem that you might have? If you are called for an interview, what is the first problem you think you would encounter?
We are quite nervous at that time, and we think about, we don't know what we have to say, the answer of their question.
We are not able to
Okay.
express ourselves.
You cannot express yourself. Now ask yourself this. Why is it that I cannot express myself? Why am I scared to do that? Why would I be scared to do that? If I am somebody who's confident and knows my knowledge is enough, why am I going to be scared to share my knowledge? I shouldn't be scared. Well, as soon as you allow that fear to take over you, you're actually giving your power of you and your role away. Okay? So you need to almost say to yourself, I own my space. This is my interview. It's because they have confidence in me. I'm therefore confident in what I can provide. And you know what you can provide. The one thing you don't say is what you can't do. Okay? Because as soon as they're going to test you on what you can't do, then you're asking for a problem. But be confident in you. Be confident in your knowledge. You've been called for this interview because you've given them your CV. They've seen how good you are. And now they want to see you. So be confident to know that when I speak, I'm going to speak my heart and I'm going to speak what I know. It is my knowledge I'm giving off to them. And remember that you are not being judged. Your answers are not being judged. You are being observed. There's a very big difference, okay? Nobody judges you. They observe you. They watch you. They decide upon what they observe. It's not a judgment. So if you don't get the job, it's not a judgment that you are bad. If you don't get the job, it's something they've observed that doesn't work. So how you read that is also very important, okay? Now, if you have to be in a space that is being interviewed, let's just say I am interviewing you. And the first question I'm going to say is, why did you apply for this job? Give me some answers that you would give me. Why did you actually apply for this position? What would you say?
I'm passionate about my duty, so uh, I want to express myself in front of uh, the about my perspective, which I want to teach. Actually, I'm a teacher, so I want to express my knowledge to the student, and I want that everyone get knowledge of practically. So this is the reason I want to join at that time.
Okay. Anybody else? Very good. Anyone else want to give it a try? Yes, Diksha?
Because all the qualifications you are mentioned for your requirement, all the qualifications I have completed, I have. That's why I'm here to interview for this job.
Very nice. Anybody else want to try?
I want to enhance my knowledge by doing practical work in your company or any institutions, so that I enhance my skills, and I take the experience to do work as a team, so that I want to join these institutions.
Okay, good. Anybody else want to give it a try before I speak? Okay.
By profession,
So
I'm an academician.
sorry.
By profession, I'm an academician, and I will be glad if I'm join your company as a reputed company, so that my skills will be enhanced.
Okay, that's very good. So, sorry, Sneha, your hand is up.
So I want to take MBA, and that's why I choose a interview with you to gain business practical knowledge and enhance my decision making skills, and create a leadership and communication skills effectively, so that I can apply in future in your company.
Okay, very good. So all of you have answered. There is no wrong answer, okay? But what I'm going to tell you now is just to elaborate something for you. Let's just say somebody asked me, Dr. Mia, why would you apply for this job? My answer would be something like this, okay? I've looked at your company, and when I saw this position become available and what your requirements are, I've met each one of them already. I know that. But because I looked at how your company is, I know that if I am part of your company, I will grow myself through your company, and I know I will benefit your company also by me being a part of it. What have I done in my answer? I have showed them that I prepared myself. I'm confident in myself. I've showed them that I know their company. I admire and respect their company. I showed them that I am a benefit to their company while they too can help me as well. But I've also not asked them anything. I've told them that I am good for their company in one answer. So what I've done is I've taken the two first things I told you about. I've prepared myself with confidence, and I prepared so I know about the company. So in my answer, when they ask me, why did you apply for the job? Because I already met the requirements that you put out in your advert. I know that I'm good enough for the job. And I also know from researching your company that your company is somewhere that I can grow. So you have answered two things in one without them even asking the second question, which would have been, what can you give my company? Why should I give you the job? Before they even ask it. Okay, so you have now answered them that. The next question some of them would ask you, and I'm going to ask you now very quickly before my time runs out. They may ask you something like, if you see something go wrong here at work, if you see that there are people you work with in a team that you don't like some of their behaviors, what would you do? So they're trying to ask you that you are going to be working as part of a team. And if you're working as part of a team and you see one or two of your team members are doing things that you are not happy with, what would you do? How would you answer them?
Ma'am,
That,
kindly come again.
say again,
Kindly
I
come
can't hear you.
again.
So let's just say the position you applied for means you have to work as part of a team. Okay, you're going to work with like 4 other people and you're part of a team. They're going to ask you if you are part of this team and you notice that one person or 2 people in that team are not actually good, they're not doing their jobs, they're actually bullying other people, they're doing wrong things in your team. What would you do about that?
Firstly, it will be my effort to find out the root cause of why that person is not doing the work properly. If he doing not work properly intentionally, then firstly I want to solve the problem on my personal behalf. Thereafter, if that person is not able to understand why that person is not understanding my talk or what I want to make him understand, then I complain to the management or the director or the panel what would be the authority to solve that issue. And in this way, I would not make any grudge to that person. I want to make the environment so that the team will remain there safely and to do work safe. I think I am not able to do proper answer.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Anybody else want to try? How would you answer them?
Firstly, I can handle their problem very politely. Uh, I I take some measures in my behalf, like uh, I talk to them personally. I talk to some benefits, some perquisites, so that they wanted to uh, they wanted to do work very effectively and efficiently. If work are not go there in any situation, so I complain to my upper head, top level boss, and they can do according to their action and want.
Okay, lovely.
Uh,
Anybody else?
yes, ma'am. First of all,
Yes.
I check that is this my authority to uh, I mean to say, if I have authority to remove that person from that team, then I take an initiative to, first of all, I initiative to understand the problem and to give them a solution for this uh, teamwork. But if I have no authority, then maybe I give a I give the I make a solution for this problem, and then we continue for the further decisions.
Lovely. So here's the thing, right? All of you are saying the right thing because I think every one of you, even those who haven't spoken to me, I think every one of you is thinking along the same lines that I'm posing to you in the interview that this is going to be a problem in your team and you are wanting to find the solution for me. Yes, because this is what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, what would you do? But remember, what have I asked you? I have said to you now, you are going to be working as part of a team. Somebody in the team is going to be doing something wrong in the team. What will you do about it? Right? The first thing is I'm giving you the keyword. The first keyword is team. When you are working as part of a team, it means the team has to work together to get a specific result that the company wants. So the first thing you're going to do is learn to identify for whoever is interviewing you. You will say something like this. As part of that team, I will have to look at how does this person's bad behavior impact the end result that we want to give to the company. If this person is doing their own wrong thing, but we can still continue because their personality is not important, it is the work that is important, then we will continue. But if that person is also, their behavior is stopping our progress as a team, then we will have to bring it to the team leader's attention. And if that doesn't happen, then we will take it to the supervisor. Because we have to always work as a team towards the end result that the company wants. What have I done? I've acknowledged that that person is saying I'm working as a team. I've acknowledged that I understand what it means to work as a team. I've also told them in my answer that I want the end result that is best for the company, because that's what the company wants. The company wants for you to always remember when you work for the company, you're working to make sure the company's name is right, that your goal is perfect for the company. So in the answer I've just given you, all of you, what you said is right. But remember, that is your team member. So when you're answering about your team, you are working as a team. So you don't say anything against your member of your team. You have to first assess, is the person's behavior going to contradict what my outcome has to be for the company? If that is a yes, then I have to go and involve my team leader and let them know I'm not happy about this because I'm doing so much of work for the team and we all are working together and this one person is going to stop the result that the company needs. And if the team leader doesn't do anything, we take it to the supervisor. But you take the initiative to make sure the team stays whole because you always, at the end of the day, want what's best for the company. So do you see in these two things I've just asked you, what I've shown you is when they ask you the question, listen very carefully to what they are asking you. Because very often your interview is not a long one. Your interview is about 5 questions long. But in one question, they ask you 2 or 3 things at a time. So you have to listen to what they are asking you. And that is why the preparation beforehand is very important. And one of the key tips I'm going to give you before I leave, in every answer that you give in your interview, always make sure that they know you know the company. Make sure that you mention the company. Make sure that you mention that it is a benefit to the university, if it's a university. If you are going into a school, make sure that principal or the governing body or whomever you are speaking to always knows that you are going to give your best for the school because you love the children to work with. If you're going into an IT company, make sure that you know, make them know that you know computers, you know exactly where you want to go, and that's why you're going to make the company flourish. Always make sure in every answer, somehow, you mention the company and how you are still the benefit to the company. Always make sure they know this, because as soon as you keep mentioning this, they realize this person really wants our company. This person really likes our company. This person has researched our company. This person wants what's best for our company. So when they sit to talk amongst themselves about all the candidates that they met, the one thing that's going to stand out about you is going to be that you have always mentioned that you want what's best for the company. Okay, that's my number 1 tip to you. My number 2 tip is, please always speak your confident truth. No matter what the question is, if you don't know the answer, be confident enough to say, you have asked me something, unfortunately, I don't know about. So I don't want to give you the wrong answer, but I can tell you this if I think about it. So make sure you are honest in how you speak, because your honesty is actually what shows your confidence. Your honesty also shows that you know yourself. And that's what they look for when they interview you. So sometimes they'll give you a question that's going to be a twister, and they expect you to say you don't know. But if you're going to sit there and try and say that you do know, they already know. You're not supposed to know that. So how are you answering? So they always give you the 1 or 2 tricky ones, but you have to know yourself. So be confident and be truthful in your answers. So those are my key points for you for the interview. And I'm hoping that it helps you in some way. Maybe we can do another one like this where I can give you more questions and answers like this. But do you want to ask me anything now before my time goes? Any questions, anybody? Or is everything clear? Yes. Is it Anjali?
Yes, ma'am. If someone asks about your weakness, then what should be our answer?
Your truth. Whatever is your true weakness. I remember myself when I went for like my first interview, they asked me this. They said, "What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses?" So I gave all of my strengths, and there were quite a few. And then they said, "And what is your weakness?" And then I was stuck. And then I said, I can be very honest and tell you my weakness is that I love to do everything for everybody. And it's a weakness because I'm not supposed to be doing that. I have to make sure people do their own work. And sometimes I just like to help everybody. So I do that. And that's actually my weakness because then other people give me too much to do. I was honest in my answer and I got the job. So, but the point is, in your honesty, you know yourself. So you know what your weakness is. So tell them what is the weakness. What is your weakness? I give too much. What is your other weakness? I do get tired, but I know that I can push myself. Whatever is your weakness is you. Okay? So be honest about what your answer is. Yes, is it Gitanjali? Can't see the name, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, like you were telling the before going for interview, you have to research regarding that company. Like I have to prepare in the school. So, how can I research on that school? Like on which aspect I have to research?
Okay, so if you're going into a school, right? Let's just say it's a high school or a primary school, whichever school it is, every school has a history. And every school has statistics, right? So either it's a school that has always done very well and it suddenly got a downside, so the ratings are not so good, or they've always done very bad and now suddenly their academics are going up and they're getting good results now. These are things that you must know about the school. Find out, is the school in a space where they have literacy, they have libraries, they have computers, they have all of these things, or is it a school that's not so equipped? So you need to know, how are you going to teach? What is the method of teaching they use? Also try and find out where is the school situated. Is the school situated in a place where you know the kind of children that are going there are from certain homes and backgrounds? Because that will enhance who you're speaking to. Or are you going to be in a school where you know the children are coming from very underprivileged backgrounds, so they don't have so much? So your teaching and your answers have to be equipped for that. So when you're preparing, remember which school it is, which ages they are that I'm going to teach, what they require from me. Some schools that you are going to go to may be, for example, schools that have smart boards. The kids already have tabs, or they have, they have their phones, and they have different labs that they go to, and they have different, all these different fancy things. That's a whole different interview that you will go for, because you have to prepare yourself for those answers. But there are some schools that don't have any of those. They still do strictly pen and paper. They still have a chalkboard with a chalk. They still have that. So you have to be able to answer those questions based on the type of teaching that is happening in the school. So that kind of research is what you would do. But always when you're going for the school and education interviews, make sure they know that you love to teach. You love children and you love to grow yourself while teaching. That when you're teaching, you're not just teaching a subject that you know, but you learn even from the children that you are teaching, because they must know you love and you own your classroom. So you're able to manage the classroom. Okay. That's my tip for you for schools.
Thank you.
No problem. Anybody? I don't know how's my time, Dr. Madhvi, but I think I've passed my half an hour now. If there's any other question, you're welcome to ask me now.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
my time is up.
Gitanjali, please ask faster, my dear. And then 5 minutes, ma'am, we can carry, no problem.
Okay, okay. Is there any other one? Any question? I'm just going to put this video off because I see I'm on 5% on my phone, but I'm here. I'm here. Okay. I'm just going to try and get a charger quickly, but talk to me.
Um, Ma'am, like
Yes, on the
if I have gap, like if I'm going for an interview and in which interview I am going, according to them, I have not, my earlier experience is not related to their company. Then how can I gap that aspect according to them? Or if I should tell to them that I was not doing teaching from so many years, I was busy, or I should mention them.
If you could please explain to me what are you wanting to, I didn't get your question, my dear. Just explain it to me again.
Yes, ma'am. Like if I'm going for an interview and that skills they are demanding, or in which field I am going, and my earlier experience was not according to their expectations or their that field. Like if I'm going for teaching and from so many years I am not engaged in the teaching, I should mention to that past experience or I should just not mention, like.
Well, remember, if you've given your CV for the interview, that already does have that mentioned, correct? Because you have to give where you were before, what you've done before. So they've already seen that. Sometimes in your answer, you don't have to mention it because it's in the CV. So they're not going to come back to say, why didn't you say this about you? It's in your CV already. If they want to query that, they're welcome to ask you more about it. But remember, if it is a skill that you don't have and you know it is a requirement for the job, you should be upfront and say, I am somebody who already knows I meet all of your requirements, but there is one that I'm not familiar with. However, I'm a very quick learner and I would love to learn more about that because then it makes my job a lot easier. So you acknowledge it already and you know it's part of the requirements for the job and they see that you are somebody who wants to learn. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Any other question, anyone?
Ma'am?
Yes, Diksha.
Yes, ma'am. If in interview they are asking us why you are left the last institute or last company, then what we have to say?
I think your best answer is the honest one, which is I am looking to grow myself. I'm looking for greener pastures. I'm looking to grow within a company. Sometimes when you're in a company, there's only a certain level you can go to. And if you're looking for something to grow, you can't be in the same company because, if you go to one company who's run by a family, for example, all of the bosses in the company are going to be one family. You're never going to be a boss because that's a family business, right? So if you want to grow yourself and become a boss somewhere else, you're going to have to find that growth in another company. Or if you want more of a salary and you know you're deserving of more of a salary and your company is not giving it to you, tell them, I'm actually looking to grow myself, enhance myself, and even get a better salary. So I'm looking to grow, and that is why I joined your company. Another thing you can mention is I see that your company has growth potential, and I would love to grow myself in a company like yours. So I see myself growing here. Make sure they always know that you know their company is a benefit. Okay? But always answer honestly. Like I said, if they say to you, why should we employ you? Because your company is beautiful and I can grow, but also I can add value to your company. Why did you leave your job? I haven't left the job yet. I'm hoping to get the job with you and then I can leave that one. But the reason I'm looking for something else because I love to learn and I love to grow and move myself around. So this is why. So be honest, but make it such that it's diplomatic, that they're able to understand you. Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes,
Like
sure.
sometimes things are not going to our expectations. So should we include that thing in the CV or not?
What is it that we will not be according to your expectation? Like what? Give me an example.
Uh, just say I have prepared for my entrance exam. I had already appeared it, but now I take a drop. Uh, so uh, I made a CV. I made a CV. If I made a CV, so I mention it in my CAT
So,
percentile or
so
not?
well, I would say mention it because it's you. You studied it. You just took a drop because of a reason. And if you can say whatever your reason may be. If your reason is, for example, let's just say you started studying law or something that you started studying, but you didn't finish studying it because of finance. There are some things you would have studied in your studying that's going to enhance your value to the company. It enhances you in some way. However, if you dropped because of whatever other reason and you feel within you that it is not a good mention, then trust your feeling. Okay. Be honest with yourself. Don't put it on. But remember, if you are somebody who's going to not put it on and it's going to leave a gap in your CV, then they're going to notice that there is a gap in time that you did not work. So they're going to ask you, you worked all of these years, but in that 1 year you did not work. What did you do? You must be able to answer and say, actually, I tried to study something. It didn't work out for me. So I'm now back in the working world. So you must be able to answer for the gap that they identify in your CV. So you don't have to give them the story about how I started and then I dropped. All you have to do is say, I tried to study something, it didn't work out for me, and now I'm looking for a better avenue. But always
Okay.
just be honest. Everybody's happy? The only person I have not heard a voice of is Tushar, Mr. Singh.
Tushar, what are you doing? You're meditating or what?
But he's smiling. So that's a
He's
good
quite
thing.
hesitant, ma'am. We have to ask him. Tushar, would you like to say something?
Presently, I take the positive side, positive things which you told us to include in our interview while giving interview for any company or for any role. That before going to the company, we have to search about the company and we have to search about the role so that we can and we can't be nervous and we cannot say that I cannot express myself or I cannot what I say I cannot I cannot express what I meant to
Yes.
say to the company that I will have different qualities. But when interviewer asks, I don't express myself. That will not be the reason that I cannot clear the interview. So I just take the positive things
Well done.
before giving the interview.
Thank you. Thank you, Tushar. Very well
Thank
done.
you, ma'am.
I just want to say one thing. I want to ask something. Sorry, quickly, Dr. Madhvi. I know my time is up. Very quickly. Can you mention to the people that you are going to be interviewed by, can you tell them that you are nervous? If you are coming to me for an interview, are you able to say to me, I'm actually very nervous for this interview? Will you say it?
No, we can't say, but our what I say, our actions speaks there is a proverb that their actions speaks louder than words. So our actions, or when we are speaking to the interviewer, that can surely uh, by through that only interviewer see that what feel that he or she will be nervous or not.
So can I tell you something very quickly? What if I
Sure,
tell
ma'am.
you can't say it? What if I tell you when they all come in, let's just say you're seeing one person or you're seeing 5 people at your panel that's interviewing you, and you greet them all, you shake their hands and you sit down, and they ask you, so how are you feeling? What happens if you say, I was actually very nervous before I got here because I really want this job, so I was nervous, but I'm so glad to meet all of you, and now I'm really looking forward to this. You just broke the ice. You broke the ice. You actually made them feel comfortable with you. And you just spoke out how you were feeling, and you made yourself feel better already. So I'm saying to you, yes, when you go in for the interview and somebody is going to ask you, so how are you feeling? You're going to be able to say, actually, I was very nervous to come for this interview, but now I'm actually very glad to have met you, and I'm looking forward to it, really, because I know I'm looking forward to this company. When I walked in the door, I feel so comfortable already. So I was nervous, but now I'm feeling good. Thank you. You just broke the ice between you and those people that are interviewing. So be yourself. Speak your truth, because they look for that. They do.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other question, anybody? I think Dr. Madhvi is going to say, ma'am, you have overdone your time with my team.
Actually, my phone is also running with the battery low. So yeah, since I have been taking so many classes, so yeah. So
Ma'am, I
yes, ma'am.
feel
And
blissful as well as serene uh, by getting this knowledge of interview, because I get that one aspect that whichever I missed out. So now I think this is so much helpful in getting job whenever whatever we want to get. That is so
Thank you
much.
so much, Dr. Gupta. Thank you. It's a
Thank you
pleasure.
so
It's my
much,
pleasure.
ma'am.
It's a pleasure.
Dr. Mehreen, thank you so much for delivering the truly amazing and inspiring session today. I believe all the students are absorbed invaluable sites that will stay with them for a long time. And we sincerely hope you to keep joining us frequently as you always do. And I know that there was a challenge today, internet and then electricity, but still you made it. So continue enlightening and empowering our ESC shining stars. This means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Oh, I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I look forward to being with you all again. Thank you very much. God bless. Thanks, Dr. Madhvi.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Blessings to you all. Luck for your interviews.
Thank you, ma'am.
The bundle for such a fruitful session, ma'am.
Ma'am, we
Thank
are
you very
glad
much.
to have you
Thank
with
you,
us.
ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure. My
Ma'am,
pleasure.
thank
God
you
bless.
so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye bye, ma'am. Thrilled to be connecting with
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Excited to
Have a
be
pleasant
Pleasure
time
connected with
ahead.
connecting
you.
with you,
Yeah.
ma'am.